This week's episode of Evolved Bow Hunting Outdoors. We've been previewing here for a couple weeks now about our seed selection. We've narrowed it down. I kind of want to go over how we went about our seed selection. First and foremost, we got our soil test sample back, and our soil pH is between 6.7 and 6.8. Our buffer pH needs to be about 6.9, which 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 is on the acidic side, and when farming for wildlife, you want just a little bit more on the acidic side versus on the other side. So that's why our buffer pH is 6.9, but our pH, like I mentioned, is 6.7 to 6.8 on the two samples that we took. I also want to go over our P and K and nitrogen. Basically, what we need is 50, 120, 75. Nitrogen will be 50, phosphate will be 120, and potash will be 75. So we'll go a little bit more into detail on that when we start doing our fertilizer selection. So let's go over our seeds that we got here. When I did our soil test sample, they ask what kind of crops that you're going to be planting, and I want the most forage. And I wrote just a little article on our Facebook page a couple weeks ago. You need to come up with what your goals are. There's no way, regular hunters such as ourselves can give every single bit of nutrition a deer needs 365 days a year in our small food plots. Some of us may have less than an acre, some of us may have 4, 5, 10 acres, things like that. We at Evolved Bow Hunting are concentrating on those of us that, number one, we don't own our own farm, number two, we don't own a lot of heavy equipment. So I've got a couple different companies here. Frigid Forage, Whitetail Institute, Mossy Biologic, and Evolved Harvest. Those are probably some of the biggest names that are out there right now. So this is what I looked at when I went ahead to select some of the seeds that we're going to be using. I want tonnage. I want something that's going to last in the harsh winter once the freezing temperatures start to come. And I want protein. I want all of the nutrition that I can provide late season for the deer. So here's how you go about deciding what to do for your seed. Most seed companies have labels of exactly what seeds are mixed in there. Like for the Frigid Forage Big and Beastie Brassica blend, if you look at it on the back here, it'll say Buster Forage radish, 15%. Rape is also 15%. Another brand of rape that's in here is 14.92. And then Vivient Hybrid Brassica, 14.98. Purple Top Turnip is 19.8. Hybrid Brassicas is 9.97. And Sub-Zero Kale is 9.9. Variety of seeds not stated, less than 0.01%. So if you look at Frigid Forage's seed selection, you can tell there's no variables in there. There's no filler crops. There's no, anything outside of the ordinary that shouldn't be in there. If you go over to Whitetail Institute, they have 25%, this is their beets and greens. They have 25% radish, 19% kale, 17% trophy rape, 14% newbie sugar beet, 3% tall tine turnip, 0.09% other crops. Here's what bothers me the most about this one. 19.38% inert matter includes 19% coating material and 0.07% weed seed. That's what's in this bag. So why do we have 19% inert matter? What is that? I'm buying seed that has almost 20% of other stuff in there that they don't even mention. So that kind of bothered me a little bit about Whitetail Institute and the purity of the seeds that they're getting. I mean, this says beets and greens, so I should be getting sugar beets and brassicas, turnips, big leafy products to produce tonnage for our deer. You go over to Mossy Biologic. This is their winter bulbs and sugar beets, the mid to late season food plot. This one says 55% globe turnip, 34% rape, 5% spitfire rape, 4% eagle sugar beets, 0.07% other crop seed, 0.58 inert matter, 0.07 weed seeds. So you can see on that one as well, there is, other items in there that's not what we want. That's not what we need. It'll give you the test date for your bag. Mid-season crops, here's the thing. We all want to plant, our late season crops, June, July, August, somewhere in there. Look at the recommendations on the back of the bag for where you live. But a lot of things I noticed is the seeds that are on the shelf right now, because it's not hunting season, are old seeds. They're last year's. They were tested in February, March of 2018. I went ahead and ordered all of these from the actual seed manufacturer themselves. On the Frigid Forage, it was tested on 6/19, so June 19th, June of 2019. If you look at this one here, tested March 2019. The Biologic, that's what we've narrowed down to. Going over all of those numbers, this is my opinion, personal opinion only. Frigid Forage has the #1 seed blend just by reading off the ingredients, and each one of these have their ingredients listed on them. This is 100% purely what it says is in the bag. There's nothing else in there. There's radish, there's rape, there's brassica, turnips, and kale. Period. Weed seed is 0.01%. That's so minimal, you're not even going to notice that. You probably got more weeds from working over your crops than what's in this bag. So the three that I've absolutely 100% narrowed down to this year is Frigid Forage, Imperial Whitetail, Beets and Greens, and Winter Bulbs and Sugar Beets. I don't believe that I'm going to go with the Evolved Harvest just off of some of the stuff that's in there. I don't believe that's a very good pure seed. So this is where we are. Here in the next couple weeks, we will be putting these 3 seeds to ground in our food plot that we've been working over. We'll go into some more detail on these things as the planting season progresses. So stay with us, Evolve Bow Hunting Outdoors.